As you know, this is the Tesla Model S P90D. And nice cherry red configuration. But right now the Model S is probably the largest premium electric vehicle that you can buy if you're looking for a four-door sedan. And with this beautiful, beautiful red, you've probably noticed that I've been buying a lot of red cars lately. I wonder why that is. But anyway, they're about to change this whole grille so they can make it look more like this. This is the Model X. Nice silver P90D. Or this is a 90D Model X. It's got that nice little spoiler in the back. Problem is, a lot of people have already seen these. Okay. So this is a 90D. That's the model. Now, third rows come with all of them. That's not an option, right?
Yeah, you can take it off. You can have either 5 bench seat in the back and have that third row open, or you can actually take it and you can have it up to 7-seat configuration. So anywhere from 5 to 7.
Wow. Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see if it fit.
you have to probably move the steering wheel a little bit.
Oh, well, yeah. Wow. All right.
It's right here, so slow long. Does the seat go back in?
Yeah, a little, yeah. Yeah, I guess that roof actually helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's the local visor back.
Oh, okay, so it sticks there. Oh, okay. There's no mirror here?
Yeah, it pulls down.
Oh, this part pulls down.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so it's all right. This is a video I've wanted to make for a long time because I've been very interested in actually leasing a Tesla Model X. As you know, I own my own Uber, and that has been very profitable because what I've been doing is buying inexpensive cars in order to get my drivers low operating costs and high profits, because basically the bottom line to any business is how much profit are you making. So here's the thing, the Tesla Model X has a large amount of storage capacity. Now, I went and checked it out, but my problem was that at this time you cannot get the lesser seat option just yet. They said it's coming in like 5 or 6 months. So that means when I buy one, I don't want the 7-seater, I want the 5-seater configuration. Basically, this thing has a lot of space, especially once you take out the factor of these rear seats. You're going to have more space once they get those seats out of there. But there's a lot of space in there. The seats have sensors on them in order to make sure that nothing's hitting them from behind, so it won't, crush your legs and this, that, and other if you're sitting behind them. And as you can see, there's a lot of space. There's the frunk in the front, which allows you to store things right in the front of the car. And then in the back of the car, there's a large amount of space.
Sport, standard. It's got heated and air conditioned seats. And you don't hear anything.
That's the beauty of it. It's a nice city cruiser.
Oh yeah, real nice.
And they haven't brought the Model 3s around here yet, right?
No,
Yeah, because I'm still waiting to see what happens with those.
Yeah, we got there. Probably won't see one of those until the end of 2017 when they do their first delivery. Yeah, I know. I got $1,000 waiting on that too.
Yeah, you're gonna sell lots and lots of them. I'm just waiting to see what happens, like how they're gonna keep up with the
demand,
the production.
Yeah.
You know, I actually bought into your stock.
Nice.
But I did a long time ago.
For pickup wise, you don't ever have to worry about all Teslas are fast.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's the regular one?
Yeah.
So even the 75 will feel like that?
Yep.
All right. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, these things have a lot of pickup for an EV car. It kind of shocks people because they're like, I don't understand. Well, you got to figure there's no
instantaneous torque and all that. There's no torque build.
Yeah, there's no transmission, no drivetrain, no drive shaft.
Man, if this is that fast as a regular one, then the 90D must be the P90D must be a monster.
It's a ludicrous.
Yeah.
3.1 seconds. It's the fastest accelerating SUV there ever was. I mean, it's only 0.9 mile less than the Model S. But I mean, it's real clean, it's smooth. You don't have no shakes, no lag, nothing. It's gorgeous. Sounds like a rocket ship.
Yeah. That spoiler, is there a button that deploys that, or does it just automatically?
It automatically does it. It goes like, yeah, it goes up when you can get in it. But yeah, really clean ride all the way through.
Who would have ever thought that I'd be driving an electric car through the BQE in New York City overlooking the bay? You know, it's a damn shame that they didn't build 2 of those towers instead of just 1. You see, yeah, granted, I complain about everything, but I'm really disappointed. I mean, yeah, we've got 1 Freedom Tower, but you know, you could have made a political statement by building 2. And then you would have had 2 of them, and they would have been huge, and the whole world would have seen just how much power we actually have. Like, 1 is cool, but why have 1 when you could have 2 at twice the price? I'm a little disappointed that Tesla's all the way over there in California. That means that when they get their cars, we don't see them here in New York City for a very long period of time. I'm completely blown away by the Model X. I love the interior space. I like the feeling of openness. And as my company goes, it would be absolutely brilliant for us to be able to replace all of our cars with electric vehicles. Hopefully what will happen is we'll be able to get these things for less than $1,000 a month with business leasing, because only then would it make sense, because they up until then they would actually cut into a profit, because the operating costs, although they're free for gas, the problem is the actual cost of financing or leasing the vehicles is relatively high. But I'm absolutely loving the Model X. So this is the Tesla website. So this is design your Model S or schedule a test drive. Here's the Model X button right here, and basically that's the car. You see the gold wings. Yeah, I think everybody's pretty much comforied up to the fact that a lot of these newer cars are going to experiment with their door designs. Some will have gold wings. BMW's i8 has swan wings. But the problem is, if you're going to make a car like that now, most people in their family, what they want is a car that can do everything and that anybody in the family can drive, such as your wife or your mom or your father or your daughter or your husband or son or whatever. So very simply put, my configuration is pending because they haven't started building them yet. They haven't actually started building them. But what you can see right here is you see $962 per month, and that's estimated if you get a loan. If you get the loan, it's going to be around $1,085 a month. So just to let you know, because there's some people who keep asking me about costs that I'm paying, my Hellcat is $1,030 about per month. The insurance for it is $315 per month. My Jeep SRT is $1,030 per month. I think it actually comes out to like $1,036 or something like that. But whatever. The insurance for the Jeep, because strangely enough, insurance companies don't count performance crossovers like the Jeep SRT as anything more than a crossover. Even though the Hellcat's insurance is $315, the Jeep's insurance is only $225. So the Jeep is actually cheaper to own than the Hellcat is. Lease, right here, as you can see, the lease price is $906 per month and $1,054. Here's the problem though. That's talking about only a 75D. So let's say I wanted to go with a 75D, because honestly, $140,000 plus for a P90D, I can't see doing that. Like, the 75 is fast enough, and this has a 237 mile range, wherein the P90D is estimated at 250. So to get that extra 15, to me that kind of doesn't make sense. And first, another problem is, if it's not me driving it, I don't want the person driving it speeding in that car. If you're speeding in that car, you're only going to put us at risk of losing our license for Uber, because, you know, de Blasio wants to destroy Uber. So, you know, they're going all after Uber drivers anytime they get whatever. There's the 7-seat interior, which is currently the one being offered. So as you can see, it's got the 2 in the back and the 3 here, just like I showed you in the video. Then you have a 6-seat interior. The 6-seat interior just nixes this middle seat right here. And then the one that I'm looking into is available late 2016, 5-seat interior. So basically what they're asking for is $2,500 down, which is about what you expect to pay if you're putting money down on a lease. Autopilot, I haven't actually decided whether or not I'd want to spend on the Autopilot. You may have noticed that there was a situation where a Tesla got into an accident. What happened was the car was in summon mode. And when it's in summon mode, basically the computer at low speed drives the car from wherever it is to the driver. Here's the problem though. The bumper sensors are down here, but there's no sensors up here to sense if there's anything oncoming to the windshield. Now, I find it strange that Tesla didn't think of that, but this is what happens when you're testing out new technology. You know, what you really ultimately need is you need a vehicle that can sense every single dimension. So for one thing, it needs to be able to sense what's coming up to the windshield, and it also needs to be able to sense what's happening back here if it was backing up. I would also say that there needs to be some type of vertical sensor so that the thing can sense if there's anything above it. Like, for instance, would the car know if something was on top of the car that shouldn't be on top of the car, making driving forward or driving back dangerous? So if all of the sensors are down here and around the sides of the vehicle, it's very possible that the car is completely blind from here up. So Autopilot, I think they need to work out a couple of those bugs with Autopilot. Now, if you're going to get a Tesla at all, you would be absolutely silly not to get that premium package. You have to have the premium package. So the premium package gives you the HEPA filter, which, you know, they're talking about, oh yeah, well, if there's a nuclear war or biological war or something, the car will be able to do this and that, and it'll keep you safe inside there. To which I reply, well, eventually I'm gonna have to get out of the car to eat or drink something, so at that point I guess I die after being cooped up in the car after the war. But anyway, ventilated cool front seats, you have to pretty much add this in. If you don't add it in, you're just gonna get like a base model, and it's not gonna feel as nice. You wanna get all that leatherette stuff, the leather armrests, the steering wheel, etc., etc. You're gonna want all of that stuff there. Soft ambient light, all of that comes together. And to tell you the God's honest truth, they shouldn't be building this car without all of this stuff. If they would simplify their trims, they would make it so that every single Tesla buyer who buys one of their cars gets everything and is completely satisfied with their package. Now, this air suspension, I rode in the car with the air suspension on, and it's really nice because it can lower itself and it can raise itself up for handling. So let's put that in there. The weather package, we don't live in Sweden or anything like that. We have very infrequent cold, but I do want the high fidelity sound. I don't need the towing package. I would never like tow one of these things. I just rent like a truck if I needed to tow, but I don't need a tow. High amperage charger upgrade, I won't have a problem with that simply because I could use the JFK supercharger. So now what you're looking at for a lease is $1,105 a month, $1,253 per month. But this number up here talks about what happens if you get the $7,500 government tax credit, or the tax rebate that you have to wait for when you do your taxes. This is if you got the car without that rebate. So that's about $150 less or so. Here's the thing.
even though this is $1,000 plus per month, I really wish we could get this down to $1,000 with these packages that I put in. But even though this is $1,000, if you think about the fact that a Hellcat or a Jeep costs about that, and this thing does seat a family of 7, what ultimately will make or break the person's decision, if you're making a decision to buy one of these things, is whether or not you're spending a lot of money in gas. Now, with my Jeep or my Hellcat, I try to keep mileage low. So when I want to drive something that doesn't have as bad gas mileage, I'll use one of the other cars, like one of the cars I use for the company. And I really don't do that much mileage, because you got to remember, this is Manhattan, this is New York City. So we don't really do that much mileage. So ultimately, like a figure like this: if the Hellcat's costing you $1,030 a month, and one of these Model S's is costing you $1,100 a month, the Hellcat's costing you, if you're driving a lot, it's costing you like what, $100 a month in gas. Let's say $100 a month in gas. Let's say $200 a month in gas. It really depends on individual driving style and individual driving mileage. So the Tesla actually makes a very good case for itself, but I feel that case would be made a lot better if they could get that price down to, you know, where Jaguar, Mercedes are leasing their trucks at like $899, $799, $999. If they could get those prices down a couple of $100, then these cars would make so much more sense to people who want to do business leasing. And when you're talking about business leasing on one of these cars, you're really talking about some type of Uber service or some type of luxury limousine car service, because ultimately they are always looking for less expensive rides. Like, for instance, if they were able to make a Mercedes S-Class that was a 100% electric vehicle and they had places to charge it, the Mercedes S-Class would sell even more than it's selling now. Thing about it is, when you're dealing with a crossover, you have even more space for getting your people and their cargo and their bags and packages and all that stuff in there. So ultimately, when you drive the Model X or you drive the Model S, it's apparent that the future is going to be electric cars. Whether or not they're driving themselves, the future is going to be electric cars. So the question is, where do you want to get in? Do you want to get on the ground floor, the mid floor, or do you want to get in at the top? Me personally, right now, I'm just looking at the best options that are profitable. I'm looking at the absolute best options as far as the leasing goes. I'm looking for the best options all around. Whatever makes me the most profit is what I'm interested in. And thus far, the Model X is definitely on the horizon for us.